As far as who I would say has the better solution, Bookchin I think would have been in favor of something like this because he did have strong socialist tendencies, and obviously China still presents itself politically as a socialist nation. I mean, economically it's a little different, but politically it's still very much a socialist country. So I think Bookchin would have been in favor of something like this. However, Hardin, I think he would agree with me. He would see something such as these public bikes and see the problems that come from it, even though it is meant to be a public good, is essentially being abused. So I think Hardin's theories would be a little bit stronger to kind of curtail what we're seeing here. And I think stronger regulation of these bikes. I think these bikes are actually being mass produced and they're being overproduced to the point now where we just have simply too many of them. And that's going to be where the problem is. And I think Hardin, with his ideas of regulation, with maybe kind of taking back a little bit from the public and not giving the public so much, I think would be a wise solution. Because I think maybe that's kind of the problem I'm trying to get at here, is that yes, we want to do what's right for the public. Yes, we want to provide for the public, but at some point, does it reach a limit and does it start to detract from the public? And I think that's something you're definitely seeing from the public bikes here. So it's a difficult situation because socially we want to do what's right for the people. But when you're having a situation where you're putting lives at risk, or where perhaps even the manufacturing of these bicycles, I mean, it contains lots of metals and rubber. Maybe the manufacturing of these bicycles is contributing a lot to the air pollution problems that China has. So again, we're in this constant state of in limbo where it's always one step forward, two steps back. We can't really seem to find a common middle ground. And if we can't find solutions to our environmental issues, our ecology, then of course we're going to have social issues. So, which we're seeing now with misusage of these public goods. And when we start to misuse public goods, then it could even fester and develop into something even worse. So it's an interesting concept. I think it's an interesting issue. These public bikes are actually pretty new. We've only really had them in China now for about a year or so. They're still pretty fresh. It'll be interesting to see how these develop in the next 5 years or so. So there's something to ponder about. I really wonder what Hardin and Bookchin would say when they would see these public bikes and how they could impact society, since both of them were very much trying their best to be socially conscious in how, for Hardin, how public goods are being used, and for Bookchin, how ecological issues are affecting the society in greater ways than we think they do. So, thank you.